I honestly couldn't tell you how many zombie co-op games there's been, but this is definitely a game. This is Back 4 Blood. Don't go away. So Back 4 Blood, the only reason I picked this up was because it's co-op, and where there's co-op, there's fun. And this is a co-op zombie game, and frankly, that's all it ever was. There's literally nothing more to this game. Now that's not really true, because there are actually quite a good amount of interesting features here that don't pan out. Not a single one of them do. Story-wise, it's bad. I can't even tell you anything about the story. I can't tell you a single character's name or what the story was other than zombies and people trying to survive. You get a cutscene at I think the beginning and end of every act, and there's 4 or 5 acts, and it's basically just nothing. Like, it's just you're watching people survive as an apocalypse, and it's like didn't care about any of this. Gameplay, I can't pinpoint it, but something was off. Like the whole time. I've played games like The Division 2 where the game overall wasn't super great, but the gunplay saved it. The gunplay was super great in Division 2. In Back 4 Blood, all you do is gunplay. That's literally all you do is continuously holding down the trigger, reloading, trigger, reloading, trigger. And I'm sad to say that the gunplay is blocky and floaty at the same time. I've never felt gameplay like this. I don't know what engine they used or what was going on here, but my friend also felt the same, that something was wrong with the aiming and the shooting, and it just felt weird.
I'm fucking having a hard time.
Whoa, there's a boss.
Hey, buddy.
He's literally as tall as you.
Whoa! What the fuck? That stalker just jumped up here. He literally just flew from...
My theory behind why the guns felt off and why they felt like the guns literally didn't matter what gun you're using pretty much, is because if you're shooting like a single zombie, you sort of feel like you're shooting something. But because there's so many enemies on screen, you're just constantly just like... And that's really the only thing I can think of as to why gunplay was just not really that impactful, is there's so much to shoot at that in the end it just doesn't even matter, because whether you're hip firing, you know, aiming down sight, you know, spinning around in circles, you're hitting something. What was that? Speaking of the guns, there's just the guns. I don't care about the guns. Also, when me and my friend first played this game, we played like the first act, and it was about 2 hours, and then we hopped off. But before we hopped off, we were like, no way, there's a gunsmith or there's like a shooting yard, right? We get to see all the guns, and we realize we've literally already used every gun in the game after the first 2 hours. Objectively, we already talked about the story, but it really doesn't matter in a zombie game, I guess. But the objectives are pretty bad too. It's basically get from point A to point B being the safe room. And you do have very, 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 very small variety of things to do in between that, like shoot the hive or shoot the boss, or yeah, there's two things.
Hey there, Big Daddy. Oh shit. I didn't think he was gonna jump the map.
Oh, I have the exact same guy over there.
There is a character selection screen that was just underdone. It is a little bit interesting in their passive perks, but that's about it. I think it would have been cooler to have like an actual create a character selection menu and choose your role as like, hey, I got my passive for healing, or I got my passive for reload or ammo, and then you could get like actual, you know, customization in. But they didn't do that, so you know, whatever. Now this game's signature calling, which I've seen around, I don't know if the devs actually said this is their signature thing. It might have been their actual quote. Don't quote me on that, but the card system, aka the perk system, is just so bad. It's supposed to be the quote-unquote calling card replayability factor. You can play through this game multiple times and have a different loadout. Here's the problem. There's like 300 cards, okay? And again, there's just so much happening that it just doesn't even matter. It was my same complaint about how many zombies were on screen, and I straight up am using the same argument here. Listen, in Black Ops Zombies, If you drink a Juggernog perk, you feel the effects. If you drink Speed Cola, you feel the effects. That's one perk. You can get like up to 10 cards or 20 cards, whatever it was, in your loadout. And I never really felt the effect. Like at one point, me and my friend were trying to figure out, hey, how do we activate our cards? Like, are they even working? Because we didn't know. Like, there's no way to tell. Like at one point, I did a full health build, quote unquote. So I put everything into health, and I spawned in with the same HP as everybody else. So, like, I don't even know where to start with the cards.
I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't see them actually concretely saying.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like always like I'm looking at. I'm like, do I actually get him? I don't know.
+2 inventory for offense. I kind of like that.
Also, the currency system that you use to get these cards is horrible. One of the worst I've ever seen. Because, listen, I had a decent amount of cards, right? But the currency system you get for completing acts and missions. And I know it's like, oh, but it's replayable, so you can get like lots of currency. I'd literally have to play through this game 20 times to unlock everything. You buy stuff from this in-game shop that I don't care about, and the biggest flaw is just you don't get enough money and there's too much stuff to buy. Like, I don't know what percentage of cards I got, but I guarantee it wasn't 50. And I'm talking at the end of the game. Like, I beat the entire game and I checked out what I unlocked. And you can unlock skins, by the way, for your characters and your guns, which is cool. And me and my friend were talking about how much we unlocked. We unlocked probably 4 or 5% of the skins at the end of the game. So it's just, you know, horrible.
How do I have another mom skin?
For presentation, I will say this is a pretty average presentation wise game, but it does have some anchors. Looks wise, the cutscenes look better. In game, I don't really have any complaints. You know, visually, it's okay. But it's just sort of, you know, vanilla. It's just sort of bland. And the zombies look like zombies. The big zombies look like big zombies. And the boss zombies look like boss zombies. Sound effect wise, I feel like they also phoned it in. It's just a little bland there. You know, guns sound like guns. That's cool. You know, totally expected. Like, nothing shocked me. Nothing, you know, where I shot the gun, I wasn't like, yo, this sounds crazy. This is a crazy gun. Just everything just way average and nothing impressive here. Now, this would be like a most average 7 out of 10, very bland, very quick rundown on presentation in the game because there's nothing impressive but nothing dropping until I talk about the UI system. The user interface here is just ass. It's laggy. There's way too many sidebars and stuff to open up. It's just, it reminds me of like just trying to get to an attachment in a gun is literally frustrating. Like 10 options to click open. And even at then, this is not even like a presentation thing. This is just a horrible game design. You can't take attachments off unless you pay for it. Not with real money, in-game money, so that's good. But still, you should be able to swap attachments at any point. Mostly because every gun comes with a 4x scope, whether it's a pistol or even a shotgun. Like, it doesn't even matter.
1 HP, what? Dude, no. Sprinkler system.
So for overall impact, I will say I did have a good time with this game because it was co-op, but it is one of those games where you finish with a friend and we celebrated that it was done. Yes, I do agree that one of the things this game did really well on is adding bots, and the bots work actually pretty decently in my opinion. There wasn't a point where I thought they were horrendous. And adding bots is great because you're not always gonna have 4 people to group up and play together. But there's just so many question marks. Like, the health system is so weird. Sometimes I spawned in with like 4 bars of HP, and then sometimes I spawned in and had the same amount of HP, but it was broken up into 10 bars. Don't understand that. The sprint in this game is pretty bad as well because you can't sprint when you're getting hit, and you're constantly getting hit. And also, you can't heal in this game because you only get 1 healing item, and it only heals for literally like 4% HP. So I don't understand how the healing was supposed to be balanced in this game. The game also, for being quite short, only 4 or 5 acts, and one of the acts is literally like 1 level. It reused levels in acts. Very sad there. But yeah, I just am not going to give this game a very high score really at all. At the end of the day, I had fun because it was co-op, but I didn't care for anything. I didn't care for the guns, story, characters, cards, perks, passive upgrades, skins, currency, health, bots, bosses. the gunplay was okay, but there's just too much. And really the only thing I think of is that everything this game tried to do was done better in a competitor's game. And that's just how it is. So for overall score, I'm looking at 4.7 out of 10. So that's it. Back 4 Blood is back on my shelf and not coming back. Coming up next, I will have a Resident Evil all save theme ranked. I believe I'm coming up next. And then the game review after that is going to be Immortals Phoenix Rising, which has been a huge surprise to me, which I sort of shouldn't really say surprise because from the reviews I've seen is what everybody else said, but it's been a good game. But till then, I'm your host, Save Point Entertainment, and I'll be just review. Peace out.
I'm really
I fell in the docks.
I'm really having smart
Docks
times
is
here.
so slippery.
Don't worry, I got a defibrillator.
This
Oh,
Kim
yeah, she
Jong-un
drowned
had a fucking semi-auto fucking World War One rifle.
Trying to jump in that dirty ass boat.
No, that's not what I didn't try to jump.
I thought you tried to jump
No, you
in
see
that
this tarp
fucking
here?
boat.
I tried to jump on this.
What is up? I know what you're thinking. You're only here for the bonus Easter egg soundtrack I put in at the end of every video. But did you also know I have a donation page under Buy Me a Coffee? Donate whatever you want to my channel and I'll put half that back to an environmental charity. So that's that. Enjoy the music. Peace out.